Welcome back to my mental health and crime channel. My name is Huda London. I'm a licensed cognitive behavior therapist, that's a CBT therapist, and a licensed mental health counselor. Please like, share, and subscribe if you enjoy the contents in this channel. This is for entertainment purpose only. This is the case of Nicola Bulley, a 45-year-old mother who was reported missing on the 27th of January. She was last seen near the river tour part at Carston Road. The timeline started changing after the 2nd, 3rd February, and this is Ron, one of the witnesses. Although the police haven't named him as a witness, Sky News fortunately saw Ron and had a previous interview with him, and he said he gave his statement to the police. I always wonder, besides his anxiety running up to the highest scale, what could be actually wrong? Something that makes sense. I could be wrong, but pay attention to what he says about the timing. The reporter asks him, what time was it? He starts being defensive at once and says, I gave my statement to the police. I can't remember. So he said, after the timing, he said my wife would know because she had her mobile device and the timing was on it. So that means his wife had a mobile device, he did not. Otherwise, he would have used his own mobile device. Then moving on, in the interview, he'll say, when the reporter asks him what happened later on, so he says, things started progressing. And then he said, Penny called my wife and my wife called me. So if he doesn't have a phone, how did his wife reach him? Weren't they supposed to be together? Did I misunderstand, or is Ron not being completely truthful? Welcome back to my mental health and crime channel. I hope everyone's doing well. This is the case of Nicola Jane Bulley. May she rest in peace. Nicola is a 45-year-old mother who was reported missing in Carston Road near the river tour part at 9:15. That is what all the posters say, so that is the timeline I personally believe is important. After the 2nd or 3rd of the month, something must have really happened in the case, because the timeline started changing. Then they said Nicola was missing from the feeds, and that Nicola's mobile phone and harness and willow were found on the bench or near the bench. I have checked for the last couple of weeks, and I put in all the posters that I could find, especially 2 different kind of posters, the one on the tree near the bench, and the other one, the yellow and black one that says high risk, Nicola Bulley being missing. I showed you both of them, and they both showed that Nicola Bulley was reported missing. She was last seen missing from her home in Inskip. Inskip is 10 minutes away. That's the journey Nicola takes to drive from Inskip from her home to the children's primary school and to the river tour part. Even if these posters and timelines and locations was wrong, this is literally pinned to the, it's nailed, pinned to the tree. So everyone who stands near the bench will be looking up and seeing that timeline. So why wouldn't they take it down? Then you have one near the Caribbean Park site. You have another across the road of Garston Road, the other side of the river. You have another one there. So was Nicola really missing from her home in Inskip? And they said the dog wasn't found far away from where she was last seen. So this has to do with Garston Road to Inskip. The bench came later on when all the fuss and all the attention from the public started drawing closer to this case. Then that's the time they thought of just saying it's no longer a missing case. Because let's not forget, when this case first started, Superintendent Sally Riley told us that Nicola Bulley wasn't, Nicola Bulley's case, may she rest in peace, wasn't anything criminal, but so far it is a missing case. So when did it jump from a missing case to an accident that she fell in the river, accidentally fell in the river, to maybe self-harm herself? Then later on, Nicola wasn't found. With all the professional searches done by Peter Folding, done by everyone, he seemed the SAT, I believe, SWT. He seemed was doing a wonderful job. The police divers, let's not forget them, was doing an extremely thorough job trying to find Nicola. So it wasn't only Peter Folding. Like he said, he was the faulty guy. Somebody had to take the fault and he had to take it. But my point is, this is a red flag for me. Brown is trying to tell us clearly that he can't remember the timing. The reason he can't remember the timing is because he said he gave his statements to the police. We didn't have a time with him, but he said his wife had a mobile phone and she would know the timing. So that means his wife was with him, obviously. Because why would he tell us if his wife is at home that she would have the timing? Then later on, when the reporter asks him, so what happened later? So he said, things started progressing. Penny called my wife, and then my wife called me. How would your wife call you if you don't have a phone? So do you have a phone or don't you have a phone? He's lying about something here with the phone. He's trying to excuse himself by saying that the police have his report. Even his actions and his behaviors are not making sense. He could be totally innocent. I'm not saying that there's any guilt with him, but I'm just saying something doesn't make sense. Not only with Ron, with all the witnesses. And why wasn't Ron mentioned as a witness by the police? There's a lot of things here that do not make sense at all. Let's listen to Ron.
Come on through.
Do come
How
through.
are you?
No, not at all.
Good to see you.
You'll live it.
Well, it has been like that. So you actually saw the phone, is that right? Yeah. You saw the phone that Friday morning?
Yes.
Yeah, and that was around, was it after 9:30?
I gave a full statement to the police with the exact time because my wife's telephone call had the time on it, so but I've given a full statement.
Yeah.
Was it just on the bench, or was it just on the bench?
The phone?
Yeah.
How's the last 3 weeks been?
Each day something new comes out, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
But,
And in terms of, you know, when you saw Phone, Lead and Willow, who you knew who Nicola was.
No, I didn't.
Oh, you knew Willow, that was it, wasn't it? You knew you knew Willow.
I knew I'd seen both the owners of Willow walking this dog in the past, but whilst I knew them by face, like I know your face, I didn't know the name.
Yeah, yeah. But I remember you actually telling me when you saw the Phone, the Lead and Willow, you were like, okay, I'm going to keep an eye on it because something doesn't feel right.
I thought somebody had gone to the toilet in the, you know, that would have been my first. I got to about this red brick building here, and I thought this is not right. And then there was a conversation, but my wife was trying to ring me, I was trying to ring her. Penny had rung my wife.
Yeah.
To say that you should fasten the dog up that was.
And Penny was the lady who actually spotted Willow initially and saw the Phone, but didn't know what was going on with the phone.
That's right. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. And then after that, you know, what happened?
Well,
the next steps?
Then it was just a progression of things happening. You know, we found out because of the wallpaper on the phone. We found out who the couple were, then the school was contacted and Paul arrived.
Yeah. Well, look, we'll let you carry on with your walk. I know you do this every morning. Yes. Nicola did this almost every morning as well.
Probably, yeah.
We're retracing those steps this time 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So we heard that clearly. Ron was asked at the start, what time was it? He said, I don't have... he starts with by saying that I've given my statements to the police. Then he says, I didn't have... Basically, he's trying to say I didn't have a watch with me or timing with me. So he said my wife had her phone with her, so she would know what time it is. Then, later on when he was asked, so what happened later on? So he said, things started progressing. So he said, my wife, Penny called my wife, and my wife called me. So he does have a phone. Why wouldn't he pretend that he doesn't have a phone and that he needed to see the timing from his wife's phone? Something doesn't make sense unless I misunderstood. Leave it in the comments, please.